How exciting is this afternoon safari? First off, of course, Brent, what an incredible elephant interaction. Very, very cool. I'm kind of envious, but I bet you're all happy to see Mr. T, who is looking a little bit on the thin side, with plenty ticks covering his body, and, well, a slightly shaggy coat, but he is an older fella. But as most of you know, that posture that he's in at the moment means one thing, and one thing only. He's seen something. But the only problem is that the direction that he's looking is straight into the lodge. But we know Tingana likes to chase the waterbuck, Nyala, impala, bushbuck, whoever moves around there. So we might have a chance to actually see him on the go. There were a couple of female waterbuck with their youngsters actually quite close by, and then I heard Dylan say he could see some Nyala bulls fighting. They're going to be heavily distracted and probably be quite a good target. He's thinking very, very hard about his next move at the moment. And he's slightly underweight. We haven't seen him with a big meal for quite some time. The last time we saw him was actually nibbling on a terrapin, which is not exactly a sufficient meal for a fully grown leopard of his size. Now, as he's been walking, he seems to be limping slightly. Seb, did we see which foot it was? Do you think front right? So that one that we're looking at now. Maybe he was racing around, perhaps he's jarred it all. Maybe it's something as simple as a little thorn in between the pads of his toes. But let me tell you, when an adrenaline fills and he's got some prey in sight, he's not going to worry about a little limp. Now, James, you're very excited to see Tingana. I bet you all are. I love seeing him. Remember, he is an older fella now. He's 12, if I'm not mistaken. So we need to really, really appreciate the time that we spend with this cat, because he's moving on. Like Tristan said this morning, this is kind of his retirement village here at Chitwa, and why would you want to leave? You've got a great swimming pool, and that swimming pool brings lots and lots of animals down, which give him a good chance to catch something. And, of course, the watered grass in front of the lodge, well, the warthogs will come on in, especially now during the drier months. There's going to be a lot of game around Chitwa Dam. Very nice. Very, very cool. Just sitting there. Look at that tail. All stretched out. Just the end of the tail curved up. And watch that. It's like his brain. I always love it when a leopard is planning his next move. You can see they twitch it slightly, like deciding on what they're going to do. But he's not going to make any sudden moves. He's a clever cat. He's got a lot of experience. He knows that if he races on in, he could ruin his opportunity to catch something. And unfortunately, leopards and lions are not the most successful when it comes to hunting. So he's going to take a chance and just observe, listen, smell, see what his best route is. I think that's what he's doing now. He's sort of mapping things out in his mind as to what's going on. Now, we're very spoiled today, of course. He doesn't listen. Sorry about that, everybody. Oh, I'm going to have to put him away for a while. He's become very arrogant after this morning's elephant sighting. But yes, I can't believe Rebecca has just called me T&T, Tingana and Tayla. I feel like I've been called lots of things. I've never been called Dynamite before. Felt like Dynamite comes in small packages. That's what we normally call Kirsten, who's on holiday today. I thought I'd just bring her name into it. See, I don't tease Rebecca as much. I tease Kirsten more, the fiery ice queen. Anyways, Tingana is, as you can see, relaxing slightly. Rebecca says the reason why I don't tease her as much is because she won't let me get away with it, or whatever. I just won't come back. I'll just stay out and drive the whole time, and then I can say what I want. But those Nyala bulls were actually having a bit of a standoff, and as most of you know, Nyala aren't particularly aggressive animals, and they do the most amazing dance when they try to show dominance. So they were really distracted with one another. So that's what they were doing. And I wonder if Tingana is actually just sitting here. He's almost in exactly the same spot we had him when we had the guinea fowl. That weren't too far away from him. Do you remember that? And those guinea fowl were shouting away. They were really upset with him, in fact. And he was not having any of it. He was sort of growling a little bit. And I bet he's just waiting for those, either the waterbuck or the Nyala, to move off into the thicket, because he hasn't got much cover out in the open. I mean, even if he were to do what leopards can do best and leopard crawl, he can creep his body as low down to the ground as he likes. I reckon that he'd still be spotted. But you'll see he's lost focus. Oh my goodness, that Nyala's behind the car. Sebastian? That's crazy. Have a little look here. Just over there. That's one of them. There's Dylan. Oh, hang on. Hang on. There goes the Nyala. There's Dylan. Everybody wave to Dylan. There's Matt and Lisa as well. Matt and Lisa, say hello. Look, we were talking about them. They brought us all the chocolate and the coffee and the apple juice. There we go. What do you? There we go. Now you can all look at Dylan. I think we should zoom right into Dylan's face and make him feel really awkward because he was taking pictures. Yay! Love making people feel awkward. You wait. Oh, the Nyala's gone now. Okay, well the Nyala's moving away, and Tingana's seen him though. He's looking behind us. Perhaps Tingana's going to make a slip between Dylan and I, and come creeping on past us. See how he's laying very still. He doesn't want to move now. He wants to keep as still as possible until he knows that that Nyala is further enough away that he can make a move. Come on, Tingana. Don't leave us hanging now. Oh, my goodness. Now, there's another person that's just arrived in the sighting. Shall we show you Ryan? Because Ryan... Look at Ryan. Ryan, wave. Ryan, you have to wave. There's Ryan. Because he always pulls faces at me and tries to make me laugh in a sighting. So there's Ryan. But we'll look at Tingana now. So now you're meeting all our friends. There we go. Ryan's going to probably kill me the next time I see him out. I'm having the greatest day ever because I promise you. Remember how I told you the other day, while Tingana's have a nap. I suppose we might as well talk about a couple of other things. Is that the biggest joke in the Northern Sabi Sand is that how can we make the Safari Live presenters laugh while they're alive? People, they're doing this. I don't even know what else. Some things I can't show you, the inappropriate things they do to us, but they do. And we know we're just so professional. So professional, we can just keep it together all the time. Not really, not me. Talking about the other presenters. Tristan's the best, though. We got Peter the other day. Remember, I gave him a biscuit. So now I'm just showing you all the culprits on the property. And if we do socialize, these are the guys that, of course, we all go out with. But yes, it'll probably be a hot topic next time we all see one another. So there we go. But he couldn't do anything naughty this time. So Ryan works at Arathusa. He's the head guide there, in case you were wondering. Tingana, you don't seem to be interested in any Nyala snack, do you? Nah. Look at that. He closed his eyes now, having a nap. He's getting old. Oh, no. I mean, Tingana doesn't look too out of shape. He's a bit on the thin side. And first lady, you're wondering if I think that he's perhaps sick. I don't think so. He was sick, so maybe he's still recovering. Nobody really knows what was wrong with him. But he does have a little injury on his paw. And, of course, this is normal, though. This is just one of those things, as that big cats or any of the animals can hurt themselves quite easily, and especially if you are out hunting. Imagine he was running about and he tried to chase something and he stood in a hole. He stood on his paw funny. He could have jarred a joint. He could have stood in a thorn. Like I said, he does look a bit scruffy, so it doesn't actually look like he's really given himself a good clean. He's older, guys. I think we need to cut this poor cat a little bit of slack. And Mike, I can just talk about watching all the dogs that I've had over the years, and most of you have had pets know. Not that Tingana's a pet, please don't get me wrong, but as they start to get older, they start to sleep a little bit more. And I think Tingana's definitely doing that. Yes, he's a bit thin, which is not ideal with his age, but all he needs is one meal. One meal will fix him. So, we'll just have to really wait and see. Hopefully he does, of course, catch something. I think it would be quite cool if he maybe went for one of those young waterbuck. I think that would be a good meal, something that's not too big and should be to take down an inexperienced waterbuck. Right, off we go to Brent. The herd of elephants seems to have moved off. I wonder what's going to wander on through next. I am, and what a better way. Of course, to be surrounded by all these men, including the most handsome one here, Tingana. I'm trying to say it loud enough so they can all hear me and pull faces. Now, obviously we know that there's a bit of a shake-up at the moment with the leopards, and Tingana seems to spend most of his time at Chitwa now, which is perfect. Hosana pops on through every now and then, and actually it seems as though Tingana is not bothered by Hosana's presence. He just sort of lets him be. And to be honest, I think that Hosana enjoys the company. He's a very social cat for some bizarre reason. I hope we get to see him again soon. I think he may actually be on Chitwa at the moment. So what I was going to say about that is that it's very important that we do have these shake-ups. You and I might not like them very much, but it's very important to the genetics of leopards out here. And the same thing goes for lions. So without the change-up, eventually inbreeding will start. But luckily, nature doesn't really allow for something like that. And I just want to show you an example of what inbreeding can look like and can do to animals. Are you ready for this, Seb? I've got a picture. So there we go. This is what happens when birds, or an inbred bird. I thought you might all enjoy that. I bet you all thought I was trying to be serious for a moment, and then here I go, obviously trying to make you all laugh. How funny, hey? I thought that was hilarious, so I thought I'd have to show you today. I've been trying to work that into my narrative the entire show. So it's taken me a while, but I thought, okay, well, we might... Thank you, Sebastian. You know, sometimes I try. But yes, Tingana's taking a nap. Those Inyala bulls have all walked past him now, and we initially thought he was drawn to them, but perhaps it's not the Inyala he wants tonight. It seems that he wants a cat nap at the moment, but those waterbuck and their little ones have ventured off further into the lodge, and I always find that the animals around the lodges are a little bit too relaxed. They even stop running away from people, you know, at a certain distance. So he might have a better chance if they go in there, especially if, you know, dinner service is happening. There might be plates clanging, the odd glass that drops and smashes on the floor, people cheering and cheersing after a successful safari. So, you know, all these things, of course, can happen, and maybe he's going to use those things to his advantage and try. But he's up and down. I mean, he has a little 10-minute nap. No, I am being serious though as well. Of course, I was being serious when I said that it's important we have a genetic change-up. So Hukumuri passing on by is not a bad thing. And I hope that he does stay. And the fact that he's managed to give the Anderson male a hiding, I think he's proven himself, because that's a big cat. I reckon he probably gave... We don't know if he gave Tingana a hiding or not. I didn't see anything. I don't think anybody saw an altercation between the two. But again, a lot of the times it happens behind the scenes. So, there we go. You know me, always trying to bring light to a serious situation, and it is a serious situation, having Hukumuri pass on through. That's why Shadow has disappeared. Most likely reason why Shadow has disappeared, and why, of course, Tundi is also hiding away. But I think the Avoca males also caused a bit of a stir there. Those are the lions. Here we go. He's got that face again. His eyes get big, his ears hang low, and he's looking around. And that area he's looking in now is where those waterbuck were, those youngsters. So maybe they've actually edged even closer. We are getting to the end of the day now, so this is the time where antelope species will be coming down for one last drink. You wouldn't want to be venturing to the water's edge under the cover of darkness. Many, many mysterious things lurking in the water, or close to the edge of the water. So it's wise that they do so. And we've got a bit of golden light, eh, Seb? That was nice. Beautiful on his lovely coat. And his coat is lovely and golden at the moment. So even though it's looking a bit scrappy and scruffy, his coat's still in good condition. And you can't see all his bones. So he's been eating just small meals. It's just, you know, he hasn't devoured anything massive. So he'll get there. I promise you he will. These animals are so tough. You can remember how we've seen Mvula emaciated, thinking that he was on the verge of death. Disappear for a week, come back looking like he was 21 again. Well, a human age 21, fit as a fiddle. And you see that right front paw he's not happy with. Now, when he stood up, he did a little bit of a stretch, and Hillary, you've asked just that. Is he arthritic, or was it just a slow stretch? I think it's a combination of him not wanting to stretch all the way up. You see there? because if he stands too tall, his head might poke over the top of the dam wall and the waterbuck will spot him. So I think he's trying to keep himself quite low as well. He looks quite tense at the moment. But when he was sort of crouched down like that, he does need to do a little bit of a stretch. You may remember we were watching the impala for the school drive, the first 45 minutes of the sunset safari. And we had a young impala ram that was all curled up. He eventually stood up and also did a big stretch. So they do. Animals stretch just like you and I. Their muscles need to also loosen up. Especially if you are going to go on a hunt. Stretching is important, right? Off you go. As the crow flies, you're probably only about 2 kilometers away from where for where Brent is. Apparently some more elephants have arrived on the scene.